as we've gone through the process, this is a really almost a completely digital way of marketing and handling these RSVPs. So the first thing that we do, especially with those that have a thorough database, and it really doesn't make a difference, but a lot of our clients have got several hundred emails in the database. So we will send out an email invitation. That's a registration email that everybody in the database gets. So if you have people in your database and you say, I'd like to invite my database to attend this event, we are already doing that if the contact already exists in the system. If it's a group of people you want to invite that are maybe not in the system, reach out to us so we can maybe make sure that we get those people entered in the system and invite them separately. But just so everybody knows, about 1 week, this is what we found too, we don't really need to market these events, these online events, more than a week in advance. It's really for the money that we spend and the marketing that we do. People aren't really planning out, 3 or 4 weeks down the road to attend an online seminar. So this, we get everything planned out. We get the dates scheduled, and we get the places selected for the pizza gift certificate, for example. And then a week before the event, we drop the first email and we start advertising this event on Facebook. So just to go back, this is an actual Facebook ad that we did. This was an event we did with Fitzgerald on October 1st. So some of you probably understand Facebook, some of you don't. There's a really big difference on a business page between a campaign, a paid campaign, and just a regular post. So this is created as an event for the funeral home. And you can see here this event is titled Free Pizza with Seminar. We've actually played around with this wording as well to see what has gathered the best attendance. So this particular event, and then about a week beforehand, we promote this event to women on Facebook over the age of 55. As long as there has to be a certain number of people that we're targeting. So we try to, I think it has to be around at least 16,000 people. So we have to have a very targeted audience. And then we spend, depending upon the market and what kind of traction we're getting, but usually about $150 we spend for a week. And what that does on Facebook, and you guys have all experienced this in the form of sponsored ads, but you don't have to be someone that has liked Fitzgerald's funeral home page, because the algorithm of Facebook is going to drive that ad. So you can see that 33% of our audience, oops, I don't know what I just clicked there. No, that's okay. I actually clicked some more demographics, but let's go back here a little bit. Sorry about that. My fingers are floating. So as we attract people through Facebook, there it is. Because this is a past event, it's not showing like it usually would, but you can see here that our reach, this is basically what they would call impressions on the screen. So 5,689 people saw the advertisement for Pizza and Pre-Prime. So you can think of from why we want to do a lot more of these is just a cost associated with that. You can imagine that with $100, we were able to put this impression in front of 5,689 people. From a marketing cost standpoint, you can't really beat that. There were 53 responses, which means that people either marked that they were tentatively going to attend, or they were planning on going to the event. This is an online event. I can't click on this now, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's an online event, so when they click to join the event on this link, it's going to actually take them to a landing page. And that landing page is actually part of our CRM system, which is then going to enter that lead directly into the CRM. So you can see here that 33% of our total reach was at women 64. And then the great thing is that we had, again, a total of 53 responses, and that was the match, or the group that said they were going and those who were interested. So if you've ever signed up to attend anything on Facebook, if you mark going or interested, that you're going to get a reminder on the day of the event. And all you have to do is go to the Facebook page when the event starts and click on this link, and it's going to take you into the landing page. And I'm going to kind of show you what that looks like now, so you can see the method by which we're doing this. So first of all, this is a registration email that goes out. We send this out twice to the entire database, except for to recent aftercare families. It's going to go out 1 week before the event, and then we're going to send it again 3 days before the event. It's very simple. Pizza and pre-plan. Join our live online seminar. We will break down the pre-plan process one piece at a time. Those who attend our online seminar will receive a $20 voucher to a local pizza place. We will stream pizza and pre-plan live on Zoom. Okay, and so if somebody then clicks this link in their email, it's going to, and I'll show you what that landing page looks like, but it's going to take them to a landing page that we've created in the CRM system, and it's automatically going to add that contact into the system. Okay, when somebody signs up for the event, so you can see here they're going to get, there's several links here too, by the way, quick links that you're going to have your firm logo down here that's going to identify the firm at the bottom of the page. This is where you're going to register. If they click our website, this is going to take them to the funeral home website. If you click on this button down here, it's going to take them to the numbers available to call the office. So we're doing obviously some additional work here as well. Once they've signed up for the actual event, they're going to get this email, which is actually going to come to them about 1 hour before the event. So there's a couple other things going to happen before that, but this is, if they click to join here, it's actually going to take them to the link that's going to put them directly onto the Zoom link so that they are attending the event. So this is how they're going to join the event, is by clicking here. So this is the email. It looks very similar to the first one. This is the email that's going to go out the day of the event. When they click the registration link, this is what it's going to look like. So if you haven't, again, gone through this process, but we create an auto flow in the system. So when somebody registers for the event, they're going to just put basic information, first name, last name, email, and phone number. And then we're going to ask them if this is their cell phone, because we do want it to be their cell phone address, because we're going to send them text messages ahead of the event. This has really helped tremendously with making sure people are remembering to attend the event. So they get a text message reminded. They actually get a text message when they register, and they get a text message when on the day of the event reminding them. So it looks like I jumped way forward there. So there's the link email that they get. On the registration link, it's basically the same. So I'm going to jump down one more. So on the day of the event, we're going to gather just a little bit more information. And so we're going to add basically adding their mailing address to this. When they click submit this form, it's going to take them automatically to Zoom, to the Zoom call where they're going to be now have, and then it also, as we build this out, it assigns a call task for the next day. So anybody who actually joins the call, that particular lead in the system we're going to automatically add a call task to that, and those leads will be immediately assigned out based on the distribution that your manager asks for us to do. So, and then just as we kind of go through the process, we have 3 text messages that go out that go out as part of the registration. So when they first register for the event on the registration link, they're going to get a text almost immediately that says, "Thank you for registering to Fitzgerald Funeral Home's online seminar. We will send you the link to the event 2 hours before it starts. The link will be sent as a text and email. We look forward to having you join." So there's been some questions when people register. When am I going to get the link? How am I going to get it? So we send this text out immediately so they can see that we're going to send more correspondence the day of the event. Text number 2, this sends actually at 10 a.m. on the day of the event. So, "Good morning. We look forward to having you join us this evening at 6:30. Your link to Fitzgerald Mortuary's online seminar will be sent 2 hours prior to the event." So we're sending them a reminder. And then a third text, we're going to say, "Here's your link. If you wish to join us on your computer, please check your email for your link to free pizza." If they click on the link on their cell phone, they're actually able to join the call via their mobile device. So for people who are a little bit more tech savvy, this text that we send out about 2.5 hours before the event of that day is going to actually have the link of the event. So they could actually join the call and listen in, see the slides and everything from their mobile device, as opposed to doing it from the computer. If they want to do it from their computer, they're also getting an email. It's titled "Your Link to Free Pizza," and that's going to be coming to their email at about 4:00 p.m. on the day of the event. So these steps that we've taken, we've had a tremendous response. I think on the one for Fitzgerald we did last week, what was the head count on that one in the end, Aaron?
I think we had 18 attend of the 24 or 25. And they have also set appointments with those who did not attend.
So that's the other added advantage is that even if people don't attend the event, the fact that they showed interest in attending, we still generated that contact. Because you remember on the very first registration page, we're still getting a name, first name, last name, email, and phone number. So this is a great opportunity for us to reach out to them and say, you didn't attend the event. We're sorry you were able to make it. However, we'd still like to make you the same offer and bring you a $20 pizza gift card. And we can just go over this information either at the funeral home or in your home, which would work best for you, right? So it's still a lead, but we had this event that we had last week on a Thursday, I believe. The next day, one of the counselors reported that they had already set 5 appointments just from that one event. So you can see how effective that these events would be. And again, too, if you're in a place or in a certain situation where you want to do something that's more private, you guys, I just want to open this up so you understand the broad reach that we can have here by not having to have people drive to a physical location. But if you want to do this for a church congregation and you have some contacts at a church and everybody's looking for unique things to do right now, set it up with the church. We can do this. We can send out email invites. We can send out text invites. Again, this is very digitally oriented, so people do have to register online for this to work correctly. They can't call in on a phone number like we would have done before. It's a digital registration, but you can help someone walk them through this. You could register for someone if you want to. So you could go onto your Facebook page. You could look at the emails that you have. One thing that I highly recommend, if you have not done this yet, is make sure that you are a contact in your database. You yourself are a contact in your database with your email address, so that when we're doing this type of stuff that you're getting all the samples and can follow the whole process and can do this yourself. But at the end, if you want to register someone that maybe can't register on their own and help walk them through this, you can. But I would reach out to, again, church organizations. It could be other types of senior groups. There might be, even with the veterans things coming up, veterans groups you could reach out to. And we could, again, do these are very public to everybody, but we could do a lot more, streamlined event for a smaller group of people as part of a church congregation or another type of a group. So, and then of course, once we generate the leads, we have to follow up with them and we have to set the appointments for that. And that's part of the presentation, right? Is that after our call today, tomorrow, someone from our firm will be reaching out to you to schedule a time to bring out some information, your personal wishes organizer, as well as your $20 gift card. So the appointment set rate has been very high. Again, like every lead source, if you wait to call on these afterwards, the longer you wait, the colder they get. So as quick as you can call on them to set the appointment, the better. Aaron's going to cover the scripts and a couple things with you really quick, though.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, thanks, Wes. Has everyone on this call seen the presentation, or does anyone want me to briefly go through that? I don't want to put people to sleep, but has anyone on here not seen the presentation? Diana, you haven't? Would that be, okay, Lou, I'm just going to run through that also, Wes, if that's okay, real quick, just so people can kind of get a feel for the presentation.
Sure, yeah. A few extra minutes. Yeah, you can go through it quick.
Okay, so I guess I need to be, let me share
I'm working on it. It's coming in. There it is.
Yay. Okay. Well, this is appropriate. Please be patient. Okay, good. So this is the presentation we use. This is for Gunderson, but we just customize it for your funeral home. And I'll show you kind of here. This is just from the beginning. So we have you on, it is actually through the Zoom platform. we have you log in, and as people are joining on, as you've seen in your in-person appointments, it's no different on virtual. People are showing up 15 to 20 minutes early and just sitting there, I guess, which is fine. So we have this slide up to start, and then I'm not going to do the presentation. I'm just going to kind of run through it so you can kind of get a feel. So this is the facts of funeral planning with Gunderson, and then we have just a little blurb about your specific funeral home. So this is the Gunderson family. And then we had Nikki in this case kind of share a little bit about Gunderson and their connection to the Madison community, how long they've been in business. And then it just talks about throughout our lives, we plan for many things, a wedding, a home, you know, all the things we plan for. We want to make sure our families are protected. Funeral planning is another decision. This is obviously much faster than we would do in person, but when you die, and then we discuss the many things. So the goal here is to kind of intentionally overwhelm them a little bit, just so they start to realize how many decisions need to be made, and then another list of decisions, and then things that have to be decided upon and paid for. So cemetery, transportation, we're kind of getting people to start to see the whole picture and how overwhelming that could be for their family. Talks about the reality, will you be ready? So we break it into 3 steps: the vital statistics, the cemetery, and then the funeral service options. We put pictures of your firm. First, of course, is beginning to build the value of the personal wishes organizer. So we've kind of created that overwhelming feeling, a little bit of a problem, and now we have a solution. So this allows you to document all your wishes, answers 90% of the questions, and then let us sit down for a free consultation. And these are a free community service. Second, even if you don't offer, most of you don't have cemeteries, it's just worth mentioning that that is part of the decision and that you'll kind of help at least guide them in that direction, but we just briefly touch on that. And then third, of course, most importantly, is the funeral arrangement options. We talk briefly about, even with cremation, there's decisions, the 4 important decisions related to cremation. We discuss that there's no such thing as a quote, just cremation, that even any cremation is going to have dozens of questions. And then of course, getting into the casket selection. Now, this is the part I really like and has been very effective. We all, you know me, I'm big about the elephant in the room. We just get it right out there and we tell the families, even on the seminars, it has worked incredibly well. We are just super upfront about the costs because that's really what people want to know. So we explain to them that if someone hears about a funeral that's really expensive, that of a neighbor of mine, usually that's because the casket was more expensive. Otherwise, there's not a lot of fluctuation in the cost of the service, even between firm to firm for the most part. If there's an expensive funeral, it's because of the casket. So we kind of touch on that. And then we just tell them very bluntly the average cost. So this is with a casket example from Gunderson, a plot at a nearby cemetery, the funeral service, and then all the non-guaranteed items. And then we just talk about how much that was in 2008, about 12 years ago, what it will be in 12 years from now, and then of course doubling it again from there. So talking then about the benefits, you're starting to plant that seed of locking in the prices. We talk about the pie chart, kind of give them that visual representation, briefly about Sepio Guard, and then the 3 ways that things can be handled. So savings, we briefly touch on that. The downfalls there, traditional life insurance, some of the problems, and then what we call the GoFundMe, relying on friends and relatives. And then, so first we talk about financial benefits then of pre-planning, kind of go through some of the bullet points, but then of course the personal or emotional benefits. So put your house in order, relieve your loved ones, and make the decisions together. And then the last is just a thank you, and then it kind of opens it up for questions and answers. So any questions there before I move on to the next thing? That's super fast, and we'd go through this with you individually, but just so you have an overview. Okay, we'll customize it. I know Melanie is on, for example, she's kind of doing her own version of a presentation, totally fine. We want it to feel personal, but we also don't want you to feel overwhelmed with having to create a presentation if that's not your thing. So like Gary, obviously where you are, we would talk about the aquamation, or, you know, Texas, I know you guys have had custom things. So okay, so that's the presentation. Just so you know, it's not hard. You're kind of just reading through the slides. You spend about 1.5 minutes per slide. It should be about 20 to 30 minute presentation. And then we've seen about 10 minutes of questions and answers. So then, of course, the most important point, and jump in if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Hi, Jane, by the way, good to see you. Okay. So, all right.
I have a
This is
question.
oh, what? Go ahead.
I said, I just have a quick question. In
Sure.
order to do this, someone told me today that if you're doing a presentation on Zoom, that if you have less than 15 people attending, that you can use the regular Zoom. If not, if you have more than 15 people attending, you need to do the business one or the one you pay for monthly. Is that correct?
You will, good question. But you're logging into our Zoom account for this. So you do not need to have your own Zoom account.
Okay, so whenever we're doing it through you, we don't have to worry about it. But let's say a synagogue asks us to do one and it's about a different topic other than pre-planning, but they still want the education. Can that go through you or would that go just through me?
As long as we don't have someone else, I'll let Wes jump in, but as long as we don't have another presentation scheduled at that time, you're welcome to use it. Otherwise, Zoom, how my understanding of Zoom is if it's one-on-one, unlimited time. If you have more than one person on, then you have a 40-minute time limit. Otherwise, you do have to pay that. I think it's $15 a month. Is that right, Wes?
Yeah. So there's two things. You have Zoom meetings and Zoom webinars. So a Zoom meeting is basically like what we're doing right now, a GoToMeeting, a Zoom meeting where we have, with GoToMeeting, I can't remember, we can have up to 100 attendees or whatever. We see all your faces. We communicate back and forth if we want to. So we don't do our webinars this way because the whole goal of the webinar is to get through the information in about 30 minutes. And so if you've done one of these, when we do it through Zoom webinars, there's actually a Q&A button or a chat button at the bottom of the screen, and they can put in their questions. But the other thing to it obviously creates privacy for those who are. So not everyone, because it's a public forum, so nobody can see who else is on the call except for you. And all you're really seeing is just a head count, right? It's all tracked through the CRM of who actually registers. So that's just the difference. So if you're wanting, Jane, or for anybody, wanting to have a two-way dialogue with your attendees, you want to do a meeting format. If you're just wanting to deliver information, which is what we're typically doing, so you can keep it under 30 minutes, because you know that you get a few people on there that have a lot of questions, and what should be 30 minutes can go to an hour really quick. So the way that we're talking about it is really designed to just get through some information as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Okay.
But if you want to have more of a conversation, then you would set it up as a meeting, and just understand the time restraints. With that being said, though, we're happy to share if you need a broader audience or anything like that. We're happy to share our Zoom account. I know your particular firm too, Zane, also has a paid Zoom account. So if you need to utilize his account, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So yeah,
it's hard to use that account here just because they use it for materials, so we never know.
it's a good point.
They're using it for. Yeah. So, all right, but I'll get back to you. I just wanted to ask the question. Thanks.
And if we find that we need more, we can add accounts to our existing account too. So if we need 2 active accounts, so we can have the potential of having 2 of these going. Right now, we're just trying to maxing it out at 1 per night. But if we get to the point of where we've got 2 or 3 going on in one evening, we'll just open up more accounts. So just keep that in mind. That's
okay.
As I said, I'd love to do 60 of these a month. So it's really no restriction as far as we're concerned. It's just more of a matter of trying to figure it all out from that standpoint.
Yeah, and I'll add, once you've done it once or twice, then you're comfortable doing it on your own. So one of us has to also be with you your first time or 2. So once you've done them a couple times, you'll be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to share the script real quick. I saw Brad jumped on and you just posted your sale, and you had 3 sales last week. So you're doing awesome, Brad. Good job up there in Cache Valley. That's exciting to see. So, okay, sorry. Back to it. All right. So the scripting, West mentioned this earlier. These leads, we weren't sure what to expect, to be totally honest with all of you. We know the effect we have in person, and we've had really great results in our in-person lunch and learn seminars that we've done for years, but we weren't sure how these would be received. And we are seeing a huge response rate and appointment set rate, and those are converting to sales. So like our Fitzgerald seminar, one of the counselors there, by Saturday morning, the seminar was Thursday night. By Saturday morning, he had 5 appointments set without, I mean, he had only reached out to half the people, and I think he had 8 leads because there were 16 total. So a really good response. So here is the script. Diana, do you want to be the person I call? Be my friend today. Okay, I'm gonna call, I think you're muted, or I can, oh, there we go. Okay, so hello, am I speaking with Diana?
Yes, how can I help you?
Hi, Diana, this is Erin calling with Thomas Miller Mortuary. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, thanks. I just wanted to first call and thank you for attending our virtual pizza and pre-planning seminar last night. We normally do these events in person, so we were pleasantly surprised with the online attendance as we're all kind of learning to transition to these virtual events. Were you able to watch the entire seminar, Diana?
Yes, I was.
Okay, wonderful. And were there any points as Michael was going through it that stood out to you from the presentation?
Well, it was very informative. I didn't realize there were so many decisions that needed to be made, so that was good to know.
Oh, well, great. I appreciate you sharing that. Was there anything specific about your options for pre-planning that kind of stood out?
I didn't realize that there were so many different things with cremation. I thought it was just, you know, cremate, hand the ashes back to the family.
Right. You know what? We hear that a lot, and I'm glad to hear you say that. So it sounds like you've probably discussed cremation for yourself with your family. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And were you familiar with Thomas Miller before the seminar?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're honored to have had you on last night, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. So here we're just wanting the conversation to flow. Whatever they talk about, those are a few questions to ask. Probably pick at least 2 of them based on how long they respond. So Diana, thank you for sharing that with me. The main reason for my call today is to follow up and find a time to visit with you about the complimentary personal wishes organizer that Michael mentioned during his presentation. And of course, to get you your free pizza. Would you prefer, Diana, to meet in person or virtually to review that planning guide?
In person.
Okay, wonderful. Now you just transition to any of your scripts about the appointment setting. So, well, we've had a big response, but I do have time tomorrow, which is Wednesday at 3 p.m. or Thursday at 10 a.m., which is best for you.
Oh, let's do Thursday.
Okay, wonderful. And I have you at 123 Happy Street. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Look forward to seeing you Thursday. So confirm both decision makers will be home, all of that. Now, if she had said, so let's say Diana just said no, she wasn't able to make the seminar. So for whatever reason, right? Okay, well, you know what, Diana, that's actually no problem at all. We have a few other families who also had things come up. What we're doing instead is scheduling individual visits to answer any questions you have and deliver your own copy of our 18-page personal wishes organizer. And you know what? I've gotten permission. I kind of add that. I've gotten permission from the owners here to still get you that pizza gift card to ABC Pizza. And then same thing. Diana, would you prefer to meet in your home or at the funeral home?
My home.
Wonderful. I'll see you Thursday at 10. So like Wes said, we're actually not even seeing a difference on if they attended or not on the appointments set, which is interesting. If they mark that they're interested in a seminar with the funeral home, whether they attended or not, there's probably some level of interest. So don't dismiss those that didn't attend. Now, it is important. I would call them every day for a week until you reach them. It sounds like a lot, but it's not, because once that week passes, it's going to be harder to reach them. So once you call, leave a brief message. If they don't call back within a couple hours, just send this text message, which is at the bottom. Hi, Diana. This is Erin with Thomas Miller. Just following up to our pizza and pre-planning seminar last night, Tuesday night, whatever it was, and to find the best time to deliver your free planning guide and pizza gift card. Feel free to call or text me back directly at this number. Look forward to talking with you. Take care. So it's just short. I'm talking anyone that'll listen, you guys, we are seeing such huge success rates with texting follow-up. It only works if you're also calling. You can't just text people and see the same response rate. But generally, from what I'm guessing, it's probably a 50 to 60% response rate. So Diana calls, she leaves her brief message. Hi, it's Diana with Thomas Miller. Following up, just send a text saying, hi, Diana, just wanted to make sure you got my message. Look forward to talking with you. And then it's amazing how many people are responding. So quick script, and we'll send this out with all of when you're doing your seminars, and then a text follow-up, and stay in really close contact that first week. After a week, it cools off, but we're seeing a really good response rate. So any thoughts or questions about this? Okay, good.
They get a gift card even if they didn't attend, but if they book an appointment.
Right. Yeah. Even
Right.
if, no, right, correct. If they attended and don't want to meet with you for the PWO, we'll still send them a gift card. That's fine. But try your best to assume that you're just going to bring it out with the PWO. But as Diana said, if they were not able to attend, you kind of make it like, hey, guess what? Wink, wink, I got special permission from the owner to still let you have the gift card. What Nikki at Gunderson has been saying with an asterisk at the end, as long as we meet by the end of the month, which I love. Why not? So adds a little bit of urgency to it. So is anyone else texting after they leave a message? Diana is. I know a few of you are. Are you seeing good responses from that? Jane's nodding. Yeah.
Do it.
If nothing else, they see it. When you call back in 2 weeks, they'll remember you even more.
That's the way I confirm all my appointments now, is through text.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, people. My dad is 84 and he texts me 4 or 5 times a day, and he uses a lot of emojis. So they are, it doesn't matter the age. Okay. One last thing, Wes, do you want to tell them about the Tuesday night thing, or we're going to?
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey, one last piece too. I just was thinking as Aaron was going through the presentation, we want to be really careful. And of course, this is all going to be learning as you get to do them and things like that. But we don't want the presentation to be just a data dump here's the facts of pre-planning. So if you're getting ready to do one of these, practice and think about some stories. When you're doing this online presentation to keep people really engaged, maybe you've got some one-liners. Obviously, you're not going to hear anybody laugh, but I think anybody who's ever at any type of event, an online seminar, or anything like that, there's tricks to keeping people engaged. As I've kind of done public speaking in the past, I've read lots of things about how often you should kind of go off script and maybe share a story, or maybe share a one-liner or something like that that's appropriate. Not all of mine are always appropriate, but they get people back into the group, So, but more importantly is just emotional stories. So you don't want them to be very long, but an experience that you had with the family, or something maybe you experienced on your own when a parent or something passed away in your own personal experience. But emotional stories, heartfelt stories, planted in that presentation are really what's going to drive the topic home, because people relate to those. And storytelling, of course, as we all know, is one of the best ways to educate and communicate with the family. So, and that's in your face-to-face presentations too. If you don't have a few of those, then I would encourage you to have a couple, because they're very, very powerful. And that's how people remember you, right? If you think about all those who you've heard speak in the past, or you've talked to, storytellers are always ones that resonate in your mind. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're giving presentations. So we're kind of always thinking about different things that we can do. And so we'll be pushing this out in the form of an email. First of all, we've been talking about having what we are going to call the Hump Day Huddle. That's going to be on Wednesdays at 1:00. It's not going to be this format. It's going to really be more of an opportunity for people to just jump on midweek and just to chat and ask questions. We're just going to always be on the call and available. So if you've got a seminar coming up, for example, and have some questions, that'd be a great format to do that. Or if there's anything else. So there might be one person on, there might be 20 people on. We don't really care. But we just want you to know that there's just going to be kind of a weekly, no obligation call, that if you're just looking for a midweek boost and encouragement, we'd love to have you on that call. So you'll be seeing some stuff come out about that. Also on that call, we're going to start every week. And again, this is completely optional, but we want everybody to participate if they want to. But every Tuesday night, we're making it a team call night. So we're calling it actually Pizza and Prospecting. So if you're going to be at your funeral home or at your house and you want to participate, and you let us know, hey, we're planning on having a call night tonight, we'll make sure that someone here on our team DoorDashes you a pizza for yourself or for your team, and for some evening prospecting. So that's the first part of it. The other part of it, again, we're going to run it every Tuesday night. Doesn't mean you have to participate every Tuesday night, but for any appointment, we're going to basically give $5 cash. We'll get a stack of $5 bills, $5 cash for every appointment set after 5 p.m. on Tuesdays. And we're just going to make this an ongoing thing. So we're going to do it one night a week. We'll remind you that it's Pizza and Prospecting. Again, if you need something to eat, send us a text or a message, and we'll have someone deliver. We'll have that delivered right to your office. So if you have a few people, I know there's a lot on the call here that just have, you're kind of in a one-person team, but maybe that just means you need a mod pizza or something, right? Your little personal pan-sized pizza. But if you've got a team, then you can do it that way as well. Or maybe you want to skip the food altogether because you're going to be working from home. However you want to do it. But the main purpose is just to, on Tuesday nights, we're really trying to encourage, at least one night a week, and that you are doing some evening prospecting. We really think that will make a huge impact on your success. So many people in this business work from 9 to 5. And if you were on Greg Norris's call last week, he says the best way to give yourself a raise is to do evening and Saturday calling, because you're getting a hold of a younger audience who still works during the day. So you're going to have a much broader audience if you do that. So Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night moving forward, is Pizza and Prospecting, $5 for every appointment set after 5 p.m. Same kind of guidelines apply, reported onto WhatsApp. Try to do it at the end of your night on Tuesday. If you get it to us first thing Wednesday morning, I'm sure we're not going to give you a hard time, but as you set those appointments. So, and again, $5 cash for every appointment set after 5 o'clock. Every Tuesday, starting tonight, we'll just keep track of that, and you'll get that nice little Envision greeting card with, 10 or 15 bucks worth of cash in it that we'll send to you for every appointment you set after 5 on Tuesdays.
Yep. And just so you guys know, what kind of brought this about was some of us that have been on a team where there's 3 or 5 or 10 people will do these group call nights. Like Gunderson's going to be doing it, but a lot of you are out on your own, or you're not able to be together in a group. So we thought this would be a fun way to just make it interactive. So just post at 5 o'clock your time, starting my Pizza and Prospecting, and just email myself, West and Heather, if you're going to be in tonight. Maybe just email us by about 4 o'clock and we'll get pizza DoorDash to you. So that's kind of a fun thing. And then $5 for each appointment. So just kind of a nice way for us all be doing it, and then just post. And I'd love to hear what you're hearing on the phones, or maybe an objection you overcame. Just kind of make it real fun and interactive for everyone. So that should be fun.
Okay, everybody.
Jane, did you have something?
No, Jane, go ahead.
No, I was just trying to see. So on Tuesday night, we're supposed to be in our home making calls, trying to get appointments. So what is being on the call with you? So
you don't have to be on a call with us. Just if you would also like us to send you a pizza, just email us and we'll get a pizza DoorDash to you. But you'll just report on WhatsApp just like normal. I'm starting my prospecting, and it can be from the funeral home or your home or the parking lot. Right. Doesn't matter where it's from. Yep.
Tuesday night, 5 p.m. to whatever, to make as many appointments, and they have to be made on Tuesday evening.
Yeah, for the $5 bonus, correct.
Right, for the $5. Yep. Okay. I was just trying to understand. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
That's the way
Actually,
the week, Friday night and Saturday morning.
That's how you got your 6 appointments?
Yeah, Friday night, Saturday morning.
I love that, because a lot of people don't prospect Friday nights. They think no one's going to answer, but Diana just shot that theory out the window. Good job.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. I mean,
Ah,
Tuesdays are typically a pretty good night. It's still early in the week. You still have the rest of your week. Again, as we, kind of follow some of Greg's guidance last week with trying to set your appointments within 48 hours if possible. It's still early enough in the week that if you really push hard Mondays and Tuesdays, you have things set up for the rest of your week. But we all know that once, if we don't get around to prospecting till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're setting appointments for the next week. So, pushing hard Mondays, Tuesdays, and then from Diana's approach too, I love that, is Friday, Saturday is a great way to set up the first part of your next week. So, really kind of work on that schedule and try to follow it as closely as you possibly can. For me, it was always Mondays and Tuesdays were prospecting 8 to 10 hours, believe it or not. I remember days where I would literally just be on the phones nonstop Monday and Tuesday. I'd run my appointments Wednesdays and Thursdays and would oftentimes have a short day on Fridays, but I prospected heavily and even into the evenings on Mondays and Tuesdays. I could fill up Wednesday and Thursday with appointments. So try to have that 48-hour rule. And then, sometimes was able to enjoy a 3-day weekend because I hit my sales goal. So yeah, try to get your prospecting done early. And if you're setting up for the next week, Diana's great. Those Saturday mornings and even Friday nights. And it doesn't take much either. It's not like you're committing a whole day. You're taking an hour here and a couple hours on Saturday morning when there's really not a whole lot else going on anyways. If you're just chilling in your jammies, you might as well make a couple phone calls. So
with your protein shake.
With your protein shake. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Right after your morning yoga.
All right, Brad, I like it. Okay, good job, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's good to see your faces, hear your voices. See you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Hi, guys.